Yeah, we're live, I guess.
Hey everyone, welcome to Flipping the Nerd, episode 18. This is well, you know what? Flipping the Nerd just became an adult in Canada, so congratulations, Flipping the Nerd. Well, only in Quebec, though, I think. I don't know. In Ontario here, it's 19, so they can be an adult next year, or next
Yeah.
episode.
I'm an adult. You're almost an adult.
But yeah, that's right.
I'm trying to be mopey, but it's not working because I always have fun when we start these podcasts, so I can't help but smile.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the hood was doing it justice. You look a little mopey there.
Good, pulled it off.
So, I'll ask you the same question I ask you every week because I'm very interested in what the answer is going to be. What are you playing this week?
I actually beat Saints Row 4.
Sweet.
And it was fun. Yeah, I want to talk about why I'm mopey first.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. It's a free range podcast. You can talk about whatever the fuck.
I feel like if I bring that on later, it'll just be totally out of context.
All right, move around.
So they announced the iPhones today, and there was a lot of good news. So, and before that, I mean, okay, so you can tell by the title, we're going to talk about PlayStation, like the pre-TGS announcements. There was iPhone 5C and 5S announcements, and a bunch of crazy, awesome stuff from Ubisoft. So, and sorry, that was not in the right order. So PlayStation stuff, Ubisoft stuff, and then iPhone stuff. So I was freaking psyched. All this Ubisoft stuff came out this morning. It was really good. TGS stuff was really cool stuff too. And then this boring iPhone news just brought me down, man. I just like because these Apple events are usually always so fun and always good stuff coming out of them. This one they decided not to live stream first of all, so I had to read up on blogs instead of watching the thing.
Right.
And then the news was just boring. I was looking forward like 5S, 5C, two brand new phones. You're thinking like you're gonna watch this and you're gonna be like, oh cool, new stuff.
Right.
And there was nothing great about either of them.
You know what though? I was talking to this about my wife because she felt the same way.
Yeah.
In the car today when I was telling her the details. And what more do you want from your phone? I mean, what more can a phone do?
Well, I know, and so and I was telling you about this stuff as I was learning it, and like I was texting you it, and I could tell that you were excited about the stuff that I was telling you. Yet while I was typing it, I was like, oh, this sucks. And yet the response from you, and it's funny because you can get my tone from my text, right? And you were like, oh, sweet, cool. And I'm like, no.
Well, I'll tell you why. I was excited. I get not like a phone every 3 years,
Right.
like clockwork. I don't get it 2 years. I don't get it 1 year. Every 3 years, and that's just the way it is.
All right.
So I basically ignore all of the Apple news that comes out between when I get my iPhone and when I get my new iPhone.
Probably a smart strategy, actually. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna go ahead to being mopey again because Steve just fucking got booted out of here.
I fucking hate this computer. God damn it.
Cut! Ah! All right, we're back.
Yeah, sorry. I have a really old laptop, but there is plan for a new one.
We're actually depressed about it.
It's what?
Actually, we're actually depressed about it. That's what's funny.
Yeah, but I'm getting a new one next month, so.
Yeah. All right. So, huh?
Everything should be good with the world.
Yeah, let's hope. You know, Google Plus has a good way of screwing us over, whether it's that or something else. So who knows?
Right.
All right. So what were we talking about? We were talking about
quick recap.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm excited about this iPhone because it's been 3 years and I'm going to get this iPhone.
Right. And I was saying, so I think that's a smart plan, really, because you know you're not going to get the iPhone 1 year or 2 years later, so you kind of just you let all that news just pass by, and then you're excited about the new one because it's actually something that feels brand new.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not totally in the dark. I'm aware of Siri, and I'm aware of some of the things that changed in the last iPhones, but I never really read into it or anything. And now that I have an iPhone 4, going to the 5S, there's big improvement. And
Yeah, you've like you might not have been in the dark completely, but you've kept away from the hype, right?
right, and I've been using a 4, so the jump from 4 to 5S is huge. It might not be very big from 5 to 5S, but from 4 to 5S it's big, and that makes it excited for me, right?
Yeah. So I'm also on the 4. Got my
Yep.
little attachments for lenses and stuff there.
Right.
See, I've really geeked this thing out. Got a stand
Oh my
there,
God.
got my credit cards underneath.
Oh, very nice.
But so I have been following, and I've watched all the keynotes ever since. I almost got an iPhone 4S the first year because I was just really excited. Siri seemed like a really cool thing back then.
Yeah.
The camera improvement was pretty cool for what it was at the time. And ever since, so the 5, I thought I might be getting the 5 before I watched the conference, and then I just felt like the major thing for me is the camera.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of other things that are important to me, but the main thing is always going to be the camera.
Sure.
So the camera of the 4S was not enough to entice me to jump from the 4 to the 4S. So then when the 5 came out and it was pretty much the same thing, I was like, okay, well, no deal. They made it lighter and they kept the same camera, which is cool, but to me, I leave it heavier. Just put a better camera in there. That's my personal preference, right? Obviously not everybody. And then the 5S, which they announced today, camera's getting a little bit better again. Same megapixels, except the pixels, like the sensor, is getting bigger. So that means better low light performance, better overall performance. This is something that's known within, like, people who know stuff about cameras know that more megapixels is not what you want. What you want is a bigger sensor because you get more light, which equals better quality to your. So of course, if it's well implemented, which it's Apple, they're going to implement it well, right?
Sure.
So it's cool. It's good stuff. I mean, maybe I'll be blown away by the images once we start seeing people testing it out. But I mean, I wanted to see, for example, maybe bigger hard drives to come standard. And I kind of wanted them to come up, because what you just said, right? You said, like, well, what do you expect? Well, it's Apple, and I think we all kind of expect them to come up with something, even if it's a small thing, but something that wows us.
Right.
And I think they're kind of betting on the fingerprint sensor, which is cool. So, you can put your fingerprint on the home button now, and so instead of unlocking your phone with the swipe, you just put your finger on there. It can be any phone, any finger, I mean, and it'll unlock your phone automatically for you. That's cool, and that's actually really, really useful on a day-to-day basis.
Sure.
I mean, and you can use it to instead of using your password to download an app or something. So that's kind of something that's really useful, and it's going to be used on a pretty much day-to-day basis, right? But no wow factor whatsoever. I'm actually more. I find like the iPhone 5C is more interesting. It's got a new form factor. It's kind of cooler, I find. And unfortunately, that's the phone that has less specs. So you're being given two choices: one that seems kind of cooler and fresher but has the old specs, or one that's more dull but has all the new specs and the speed. Like, it's blazing fast.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm just totally underwhelmed, like big time underwhelmed by this. Hence the whole. It sucks right now.
Right.
Like there's any like I couldn't be, I'm bitching about the stupidest thing, but
it's a very first world problem there.
which that's what we're here to talk about, right?
Yeah, us and our first world problems. No, I'm excited for it. I just want something new. I've had the same iPhone for 3 years. The 4 is the phone I'd say that served me best for my 3-year term.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel that I absolutely have to get rid of it yet. I feel I could have gone another year with it. I'm not going to, but I felt like it's good enough for me to keep a little longer. So I'm happy with it, but I'm also happy to change. It's just to mess around with Siri. Like, I didn't get a chance to do that yet,
Yeah. Well, okay. So here's the other thing, right? And that's where there's a big difference between us. Is that I bought. Are you?
I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
We're talking about me taking my shirt off.
Oh yeah, of course. Then my wife happened to be passing by. And all shit is, yeah, that's creepy.
It's just like your wife. If you're listening to this and not watching, you're like, what? Wait, what?
Yeah,
You know,
right.
I still have a
Yeah.
shirt on. I just took my other shirt off because I'm seething with rage.
Yeah. So she's now walked in on 2 conversations I've had on this podcast. And
Both
I don't
were
know
awkward.
what it was, but it was also pretty damn dirty.
Yeah, so I was going to talk about this fucking thing.
Okay, go ahead. Go nuts. We're done
Care
about it.
anymore. But yeah, I think one of the reasons why my expectations for the iPhone are much higher now is because I have an iPad.
Right.
And I do almost everything on my iPad now, so I want my iPhone to be exciting in some way that makes me want to use it again.
Right.
So I think that's all.
All right. Yeah, that's all. I have nothing left to say about Apple.
No, let's move the fuck on because apparently they're cursing us.
Exactly. I'm using their goddamn computer.
So am I. I've got 3 of their fucking devices.
I know, exactly. I'm looking at an Apple computer with my fucking iPhone next to me, and god damn it.
It's all going to shit.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. All of you.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah. All right. So what do we want to talk about next?
Do you want me to go through my news really quickly before?
Yeah, let's get some little tidbits, and then we'll get into the exciting stuff, which is the pre-TGS announcement and all the cool Ubisoft stuff.
Yeah. So I'll keep the Ubisoft stuff out of here. Are you going to talk about Watch Dogs?
Nope. What's up with Watch Dogs?
They released the 14-minute trailer.
Oh yeah, see, I forgot
well,
about the stuff that happened last week.
Gameplay trailer. I just want, because we talked a little bit about it over text.
Right. Yeah.
But I just want to see what your reaction was, because we talked about this. It was exciting. It was one of the games we were most excited for in our first or second podcast.
Yeah.
And slowly it started going down a little bit on our list. And
Yeah.
then it came to the point where I wasn't even that excited about it at all. Not
Yeah,
that I wouldn't play it, but
it kind of just flew off the radar, right? Like,
it did. And it was the biggest next-gen game, and it was like the first really next-gen game announced, right?
and I think that's what its problem is, right? It came out so early out of the gates that it had time for the buzz to seriously die. Because how many awesome things have come out since then?
Right, exactly.
That was just part of a sea of cool things, which maybe is a good thing for them because if it had come out only this year amongst everything else, do you think it would have had such a big impact that it did last year?
Probably not.
No, right?
No.
So I guess smart move. At the same time, I guess it's kind of a weird thing, right? It's like a next-gen, current-day Assassin's Creed GTA kind of mashup, which was really cool when it was shown, and now it's just like everything else that's been shown is potentially more innovative. So,
Right.
But I mean, I still want to play this game pretty badly.
Sure.
And then they came up with this 14-minute demo where instead of doing story or anything like that, they just kind of walked around and picked up some little missions that they could just pick up on at random times.
Yeah.
And it was pretty friggin' cool. It got my I got goosebumps. You know, I only get goosebumps for games when they hype it right.
Right.
And they did it. They really did it with this one. And I mean, what did you think of the demo?
You know, it definitely got me more excited for it.
Yeah.
Not quite enough to buy it out of the gate. I think I'm at that stage where I want it, but it depends what the reviews are like.
Right.
No. Some things I liked about it. It looks amazing. I mean, graphically, it's a beautiful looking game.
Holy shit! The car chase was actually what surprised me the most. I think it looked really fun to drive in there.
It did. And driving is something that a lot of games fuck up.
Yeah, they do.
It's nice to see that it looks smooth.
Yeah.
I liked. Obviously we're big Assassin's Creed fans, and you could definitely see some Assassin's Creed in there.
Yeah.
And I like that there's all these things you can do. There's different ways for every situation. You can tackle it so differently that it's a completely different way. And I like having options like that.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
What I didn't like is I find it looks really complex. Now I don't know how it comes off when you're actually playing it. I mean, they know what they're doing, so it seems easy, but at the same time, I don't know. Like, you have to go from camera to camera, but you have to find it, and it's just. I'd be interested to see how easy it is to do. Sorry?
They give you options, though, right?
Right.
Like, I think there's 2 things I took away from this demo. One was that this was just, like they mentioned it, This was just one of the ways that they could go through that particular little spot they were doing.
Right.
What I thought was cool too is that I had kind of assumed that all these hacking powers were unlocked from the get-go because you were some sort of super hacker. But
Right.
no, you have to go through the city and unlock spots to allow you to hack people's phones and identities and businesses and that kind of thing.
Right.
I thought that was kind of neat, and that's what they showed off. And they showed one way to do it was to go through this gate and that gate and then hack a camera, like you were saying. It seemed maybe a little bit tedious.
Yeah.
We go in there, guns freaking blazing, blow up the place, kill everybody,
Right.
hack the central, get out of there with a car, like a cop car chase. Oh, like potentially way more exciting.
Right.
But then you'll end up being more notorious or whatnot. But yeah, I think there'll be many different ways of achieving everything, and everybody's going to play this game a little bit differently.
Right. And that's what's exciting about it.
Oh yeah.
And the other thing I didn't like about it, I think is something we both agree with,
Yeah.
is 12 minutes into the 14-minute demo, another character, an actual human, a random human, goes into his game and starts hacking him, and then there's this whole thing. You got to find him, you got to chase him. It's just, when I play a single-player game, I really don't want other people to be messing with me. If you can turn it off, that's fine. Sometimes maybe you're in the mood to have other people in your world.
I'm pretty sure you can turn it off.
I don't know. I hope so.
Yeah.
But it really took me out of it. I don't know. I just don't want other people to be messing with me. I just want to play my game.
But okay, so here's my question to you then with regards to that, because that's exactly how I felt about it right away. Especially because, like I said, I got goosebumps from this trailer up until that point, and then the hype just kind of disappeared.
Right.
Like, Jesus, man, they had this perfect demo and then they ruined it. It had soared back in my head to like the top, close to the top of my list of games I want to play,
Right.
and then because of that, just disappeared again.
Okay.
But I got thinking about it afterwards, and I thought, and with a different perspective, it's actually way much more interesting. What if you can, and I think you can. I think you can choose who is allowed to mess with your game. So what if only your friends?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
I'm thinking 1 or 2 or 3 people maximum are allowed to mess with your game. So it's not like it would be happening all the time, and it could be potentially a lot of fun, especially with all these capture. You can capture video.
Right.
Play. So you go in there and you're about to screw with your friend, and you make a joke out of it, and you laugh about it later. I think that could be pretty fun.
Yeah, no, I agree. If you can limit it to just your friends,
Yeah.
that would definitely be cool. But it remains to be seen. They didn't really explain it; they just kind of showed it. So.
But they did say that you can, you get XP from these things. So if you go into somebody's game, and not only just like that multiplayer thing, but also like from a tablet or whatnot to go help out,
Yeah.
or to cause havoc. Either way, both people get XP from that. So
Right.
you build your character from that little bit of messing around that happened.
Right. And just, I don't know if this is really a nitpick.
Yeah.
I was really hoping he'd catch him.
Yeah. Seriously. Fuck.
Let him go. It's like, no, you can't end the demo like that. Come on.
The guy just fucking got away, and
Yeah.
I felt exactly the same way. It was like he drove away, and then somebody said something like, "Okay, our player succeeded at getting him to stop the download." I was like, "Wait,
That's it.
that was success? That was failure."
Right. No. So a little nitpick, but I was a little disappointed.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else, thoughts about this demo, or?
No, yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, like, I have it pre-ordered. I have it pre-ordered with a long list of games that I got
Right.
for $20 off for all the games. So for me, it's more of a question of what am I going to play first, not what am I going to buy, right?
Sure.
Or what am I going to return because I'm really not going to keep it, which might happen.
No, but you know what? It's the kind of game that if it does get good reviews,
Yeah.
it might be the next game I get after my initial launch games.
Yeah, it's something I think I'll be playing very shortly after the launch of the PS4,
Yeah.
but
I'll definitely be getting games for Christmas.
Yeah.
So that if it has good reviews, and there's a good chance it'll probably be on my list. So there's a good chance I'll be playing this in the near future.
Yeah. All right. What's next on your list?
Okay, this is just something I heard today. It's just quick because we are going to talk about this subject to death at some point. GTA.
Yeah.
Coming out actually a week from today, so that's super fucking exciting. And I'm sure, yeah, exactly. I'm sure our podcast in 2 weeks is going to be all about GTA.
Pretty much.
So, the only thing is something that I want to warn everyone that I don't think a lot of people know. You actually need to download an 8 gig file to play this game.
You need to download an 8 gig file?
Yes. If you buy an Xbox 360, it comes with 2 discs. The first disc is the game, but you have to install the second disc to be able to play it, which is an 8 gig file. On PS3,
it's not a download. It's an install.
Well, it's an install, but that's still 8 gigs on your hard drive, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking there was like an 8 gig day one patch.
No. No, it's an install. Sorry.
No, okay.
But that's for people who have on Xbox 360, they have 4 gig machines.
They can't play this.
Well, they need an external hard drive.
Right.
Just something to warn people about because
It's something I'm used to with the PS3. Like there's I remember the Metal Gear Solid 4 install was crazy huge, but whatever, you just pop it in and you just wait a little bit. It gets done.
No, exactly. Just something, but that's also exciting. That means the game is so big that
it's actually good to know. It's probably something that if I didn't know about it when I popped it in and I realized I was gonna have to wait that long to start playing, I would have been upset. But now that I know, my expectations are tempered. Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, you're welcome. And me especially, I have 9.5 gigs left on my hard drive.
Yeah, shit, I'm probably going to have to clear something off of mine, too. With PlayStation
right.
Plus, I've just been loading it up, and I have 250 freaking gigs, and I have to rotate the games that I keep on there now.
Well, I know. I'm the same way. I mean, I've had my 360 7 years now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of shit on there. There's a lot of DLC. I have, I think, 90 games on Xbox Live Arcade. I'm at that point where I need to.
Yeah.
It's just a warning for everyone.
And it makes you think about next gen. Like 500 gigs seems like a lot, but I get the feeling like it's very shortly going to feel like very little.
Right. But and that's what someone was saying. Is said 500 gigs seems actually kind of small to launch it with.
Yeah.
They thought maybe it'd go to a terabyte, but maybe down the road,
Interesting. Yeah.
And that's something it leads into my next news.
Yep.
Microsoft did say that they will be able to have external hard drives very soon.
Yeah,
not at launch, but soon after launch.
Yeah, 2 different kind of approaches to the subject. So Sony, you can swap it out for a bigger hard drive or for a solid state hard drive, and Microsoft, you can attach an external hard drive. So both have advantages, disadvantages.
Yeah, isn't it the opposite right now with when the 360 launched, it was external. Yeah, you could swap it, and the PS3 you had to external.
PS3 is always swappable.
Really? I don't even know where the hard drive is on my PS3, to be honest.
It's actually I think it's at the bottom or wherever you want to, however you want to place it there. But it's because I have it vertically. But essentially, it's really easy to swap out. Like when I reheated my CPU, my GPU, whatever on it because it went out of death. I got to disassemble it and I realized how easy. There's one screw. That's it. You just pull it out.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
No, for 360, it's super easy. It's a button. You press the button, you remove it, put another one. And not the new ones, mind you, but the old ones.
Yeah, right.
All right. Another piece of news because Microsoft every Monday answers fan questions.
Yep.
And someone asked is it ever going to be backwards compatible? Now they said basically don't hold your breath. But they are looking into it, and it is maybe possible down the road with their cloud gaming.
Yeah, so essentially the same thing.
Similar to Gaikai, right?
Yeah, right. Because I think Sony thought about this and they wanted to implement it, and they've both been kind of playing catch up on certain features after each other. This one seems like they were like, oh, Sony can do it. I'm sure we can do it too, and I don't see why they can't. So yeah.
So they've said again, not at launch, but it's something they're working on.
Yeah, good to know.
There was a released vid, I think it happened this weekend, but I only saw it yesterday, where someone has an Xbox One at home for beta testing.
Somebody's dad's in trouble.
Yeah, well, I think it's someone's son, to be honest, from what
that's what I mean. Somebody's dad is in trouble because the son decided to put
exactly. So they released basically what the dashboard looks like.
Yeah. What did you think?
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did. What did you think?
Yeah, so it just shows that you could go really quickly from game to movie to dashboard, so.
Yeah, you can minimize the game into window.
Right.
and still have it be playing in the background.
And it's very quick.
Yes.
So, but whatever. It's just.
What do you think of the look of it?
Sorry.
What do you think of the look of it?
You know what? I like it's pretty similar to what the 360 is doing now. It's just boxes essentially. I always like the 360 dashboard. So I just like to and on this one especially, you can pin stuff to your main page.
Right.
So you really choose what your dashboard's going to look like. The only downfall is there's ads on it, which is annoying.
Yeah,
but they're easy to scroll around, so it's not that big of a deal. But
yeah, the ads on the 360 never really bothered me. It's not like they blare their sound or anything if you're not hovering.
You have to be on it to have the sound on.
Exactly, yeah. So I think that's okay. I think it's.
But one thing I do like about the 360 ads, I don't know if you've noticed this, is a lot of them, if you watch them, they reward you with something.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, usually an avatar pick or a gamer pick or
That's right.
Sometimes.
I did not know that.
Or background. There's a ton of stuff that they reward you with if you actually watch the thing.
I'm still not gonna watch the ads.
No, I know, but it's cool. Like I got the subway monkey as an avatar prop.
Oh, sweet.
So, just sometimes just little things, but why not?
All right. Yeah. Well, I think that's actually smart. At least you're getting something out of it.
Exactly, and I watched the ad because I wanted my stupid thing. So Subway, who cares? It's just a digital monkey for fuck's sake.
Yeah. All right.
Two more pieces of news. One, they confirmed that they're going to support the 360 at least 3 more years. So for people who don't want to make the switch to next gen or are getting a PS4 and want to keep their 360, they said at least 3 more years. I have a feeling it might be like PS2. They'll support it until people kind of drop it.
I don't know, man. If you look at the history, they kind of. Well, yeah. I mean, some people were still playing Halo or something so that.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't Microsoft. That was the servers at Bungie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were going to cut the servers, but they had to wait till everyone got out.
Right.
And a group of people just stayed on forever until they basically got kicked out.
Pretty hardcore to do that.
Right. So that's it. And the biggest piece of news, and this came out right after our podcast last week.
Yeah.
So it seems old now, but it's actually new to the podcast. The Microsoft finally released their date, which is November 22nd in all their territories, which makes it 1 week after the PS4 in North America and 1 week before the PS4 in Europe.
Yeah.
It's also the 8-year anniversary of the Xbox 360 launch. So.
Yeah. Somebody pointed out it's very doubtful that Microsoft put that on that date because of the nostalgia of it, right?
Well, you know what? I think it might be because Xbox Live launched on November 15th.
Uh-huh.
Xbox launched on November 15th.
Okay.
360 launched on November 22nd, and now Xbox One's launching on November 22nd. So maybe it is a nostalgia.
And that's got to be a really weird way to make those decisions if that's the case. I don't think
I'm sure there's other things that go into it.
Yeah, I think it's more of a supply-demand kind of thing where
that's
the date that everything's going to be ready to come out.
Yeah, but it's a good date. It's between the two PS4 dates, so.
Yeah.
Like we talked about, I think it's too close together to really make that big of a difference.
Yeah. I mean, especially, I think it's good for them in Europe to have that small edge, and same thing for Sony. It's good for them in North America to have that small edge because in each respective territory that they're launching first, the ones that are the underdogs, right? So it makes sense that they have it that way around.
No, exactly. So, it is what it is. It's going to be an exciting month, that's for sure.
Jeez, it's already I can't take it anymore. I can't.
Three more months. 3 more months, man. It's coming out.
It's too much. Like I was saying.
No, 2 more months.
Is it just 2 months?
Yeah. Well, 2 months in a week.
Either way, I'm gonna lose it before then. But maybe not, thanks to Grand Theft Auto. That might actually be my savior.
It is. It's gonna keep us busy till at least I think end of October.
Yeah.
So.
Because we're planning on doing videos with it and stuff
exactly.
Yeah. I think if it weren't for this channel, if we weren't doing videos with this, it might not be enough. But because we're planning on using it and doing more with it, it might just tide us over.
Exactly. So okay, and one more piece of news. This is just really quick. It's just something I happened to notice while I was rebooting my computer 100 times. Disney is having a huge.
Is that what happened?
What?
Is that what happened?
Yeah, that's what happened.
Okay.
Disney's having a huge month in games, and I didn't realize it. In the span of 1 month, they released Disney Infinity, which is doing super, super well, apparently.
Yeah.
Last week, they released Castle of Illusions, which is Mickey Mouse's remake from the Sega.
Right. Oh yeah, they
They
have the
released,
DuckTales too.
yeah, they released DuckTales on PS3 a month ago,
Yeah.
and on 360 this week. And today, PS3 released Kingdom Hearts HD.
Oh yeah, that's right. Are you getting
Oh my
that?
God! If you're a Disney fan, this is the month to be.
Yeah. Are you getting that, by the way?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I know.
I've actually played Kingdom Hearts 1 before.
Okay.
On PS2, I used to have 1 and 2, which I absolutely love this series, which is why I was so excited when 3 was coming to Xbox One.
Uh-huh.
But this bundle also has the 2 Vita DS games, so...
Oh, wait, it has what?
It had, I don't know if it was Vita or DS or... not Vita. What was the one with PSP? It's 2 PSP games.
Oh, okay.
Kingdom Hearts 398-2 or whatever the fuck they called it. Like some weird ass name, but anyway, they're both on there, so it's exciting, yeah.
Oh, very cool. Okay, I didn't know they were both on there. So I get the feeling like shortly we'll be hearing a lot about Kingdom Hearts 1.5, just like we've been hearing a lot of Resident Evil 4.
But yeah, yeah, exactly.
It's gonna come replace that spiel from you.
Well, you know what? Yes and no, because I'm not gonna pick it up right away, because I'm still playing Disney Infinity, and
Right.
then there's GTA, and you know.
Yeah, it's pretty much gonna be just a lot of that.
That's all I need, really.
Yep.
Yeah, and just speaking of Infinity, I've been playing another week now. I'm liking it even more than I did before. It's just a fun game, and I think their idea with the toy packs and the booster packs is just, man, what a moneymaker this thing must be.
Yeah, a lot of people are probably sinking a lot of money into this.
Yeah, but it's fun. So honestly, it was worth the investment, and I'm still investing in it. I keep every time I go to like Walmart or something, I always buy like a pack of power packs. It's like when I used to collect cards as a teenager or as a kid. You know, it's
Right.
you never know what you'll get, and it's super exciting.
I'm just realizing that we still haven't been cut off again. I'm like, hey, sweet. I'm gonna try and jinx it.
Yeah, don't
iPhone.
jinx it. No iPhone.
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 iPhone 5C.
Yeah, that's
We're
it.
still good. We're still live. All right.
Yeah, we're good. We're good for now.
So so what I've been playing, what you asked me at the beginning of the podcast,
Yeah.
which I refused to answer because I was so mopey. So I beat Saints Row 4, at least as far as the story mode goes, and I did all of the side quests that are part of the story mode as well. Because like they give you, like there's a ton of side stuff and that you can do. You can go on little icons on the map. But a lot of those you're brought to by some of the story challenges, so to speak. Like a character will give you that challenge to do. So all of that I've done, and I've beaten the game, and like I think everybody expects this, so it's not a spoiler. But you can continue to play afterwards, like you're still in simulation, as they call it.
I think most games do that now. I think Fallout 3 is the last open game I remember not doing that.
Okay.
And they had to patch that shit because people got pissed. It's like, whoa, I want to keep playing this motherfucker, you know?
So you beat the game and you couldn't just roam around anymore?
It fucking ended. Like
that's bad.
They actually brought out DLC right after so you can continue after.
Right, makes sense.
But you know who did it right though? Just not to cut you off too much.
No, go ahead.
Red Dead.
Yeah.
You know, it had a conclusion to the story, and then the extra part kind of made sense. You know.
Yeah. Not to spoil it for anybody, but yeah, it was one of the ones that it made a lot of story sense.
Right.
If you want to put it that way, right?
No, exactly.
This one kind of does too, in the sense that it's like you jack yourself back. Dude, there's a lot of the Matrix kind of thing going on, so it's kind of like you're just jacking yourself back into the Matrix, you know?
Yeah.
So it makes sense to continue. But what was just awesome about this game was the superpowers, right? You feel so freaking powerful, and I've heard a lot of people comparing it to Crackdown, which is a game I haven't played yet, but I have it now for free.
Right.
Xbox Live Gold. And I'm actually now looking forward to playing it so I can jump up in the air in another game.
Right.
I want this to come to I want this to be in every game from now on. I mean that literally. I want to see this in fucking Grand Theft Auto, which is a natural mix for this kind of thing. You just give us superpowers and a DLC pack.
Right.
I want to see this in freaking I don't know, Borderlands would come to mind.
Right.
Which almost sort of has it because you can jump pretty high, but I mean really fucking high.
Right.
What else? What do you think? You know what? I want to see it in freaking Red Dead Redemption. I want to be soaring above the early North American landscape
Right.
as a superhero. That would be freaking cool.
Yeah.
I think this kind of opened a Pandora's box for like how much fun you can have in an open world game.
You know what though? One game that I don't know if I hope this is going to be a trend. One game that they didn't do that particular thing right.
Yeah.
But Far Cry 3 is an example of a really serious game.
I want to do it in there too.
It had the craziest fucking DLC ever.
You
know, and maybe that's
you mean Blood Dragon?
Blood Dragon, yeah.
Speaking of which, they've sold so many copies that they're planning on putting out as a box.
I heard, yeah, as retail.
Yeah, which means probably sequel.
Yeah,
Awesome.
no, exactly. No, and that's why not? You know, you have the engine already. Why not do like GTA? Just have a crazy fucking DLC in that world. Why not?
Absolutely. People complain about this for stuff like Assassin's Creed that comes out every year and reuses the engine to a certain extent. They always do improvements, but it's up until they really skip to a new character and whatnot, they don't make that many improvements.
Right.
I think it's cool. You have the engine built. Why the fuck wouldn't you use it?
Exactly.
If you can make a compelling experience that a lot of gamers want to jump into, go for it.
Exactly. I agree. Yeah. And just FYI for people listening, this podcast, fairly like this week that we record it, Blood Dragon's on sale on Xbox Live. So.
Oh. Here you go. I have a feeling that's gonna happen often enough.
Yeah.
All right.
So you want to go into Ubi?
Yeah, let's talk about Ubisoft.
Yep.
So, Ubisoft came out with some pretty interesting games they were talking about. Nothing like completely out of left field. Well, maybe.
Well, one of them for sure.
Hold on, I got my notes up here on the computer. All right. So, which one are you referring to?
The one in the title.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. You wrote the title.
Like, what did I write? Oh yeah. Okay, so wait. Let's go back. Let's go down through it, and we'll finish with that one because I'm so
exactly.
That's all you, I'm sure. So they talked a bit more about, or they showed a trailer, for Trials Frontier, which is the iOS Trials game that's coming out. It's got a nice steampunk vibe to it. It's free to play, which could or could not be a good thing. We'll wait and see what kind of transactions they put up in there. But it looks to maintain the core Trials gameplay. Now, the only issue with that I have is that putting it Trials gameplay, it looks like Trials gameplay, but how will it feel controlling it?
Right.
That's a whole other story.
No, exactly. And Trials is an amazing game. For people who haven't tried this game,
it's
fun as hell. It's easy to use, hard to master.
And so freaking, it's just fun. Like, you pick it up, you play the early levels, you don't have to master it right away. You're having a blast because you're soaring through the air, you're doing flips. It's silly. It's awesome.
Yeah, especially the second one, it really makes you look like you're doing really well. You know, you go on this, and this flips up, and it's perfect landing. It's just like, oh man, it just works so well. It's so awesome.
And then when you don't land it right, and your character flies into something, you bail and you go flying into a tree or whatever the fuck, it's awesome still.
Never gets old. Never fucking gets old.
It doesn't. There's a reason why they're still doing Trials videos on Rooster Teeth, right?
Right. No, exactly.
One game.
It is. It's one of those rare games that really, it's just, if you have just 10 minutes before you go to school, before you go to work,
totally.
You don't want to, get into an actual game. You put that in, pick a track, and it'll be a 10 minutes well spent.
Yeah. So, obviously, we both love this game. I think, another thing, though, is that since it's coming to iOS, and iOS is going to be now with, we didn't mention this earlier.
No, don't say it.
Point. Fucking iOS 7 is coming out on September 18th, so that's 8 days from now.
Yep.
Next week, that's right. And with it comes the possibility to put to use controllers with iOS.
Right.
Now, I don't think there's any that are that have been announced that are already out or that will be out at the same time, so this will come with time. I'm kind of pissed that Apple didn't make their own controller, because now we're left to the mercy of various control schemes that will be adopted very differently by different publishers, different games, different devs.
Exactly.
Who knows what's going to be supported? So, unless one of them really comes out on top, I'm actually praying for Sony to make a controller for iOS. That would be awesome.
Right. No, but you're right. If it doesn't have one controller that everyone they know exactly this is going to be it, it could be a complete mess, and that's just.
Or, the biggest problem being that all these different controllers on Android have to be implemented separately into a same app if they want to both be compatible.
Right.
There's not one standard. It's not like a DualShock controller for the PS3 where you can make a knockoff, but it's all the same buttons, right?
Yeah.
In this case, they make different controls that work differently that have to be implemented differently. So that's why it has to be just the one, or the one company that succeeds or puts out a standard. For all I care,
right?
It's got to be standardized to some point if it's going to work. But all that to say that it would be cool to play Trials with a controller on iOS.
No, absolutely.
I think that would be the best case scenario.
Yeah, because I can't play with the fucking touchscreen.
Yeah, no, I played one of the Red Lynx games that was sort of like Trials.
Right.
Not fun on iOS.
No, it's just with the touchscreen, it doesn't lend well to the touchscreen. It's perfect on the console. It's just the way you have to it's just I can't explain. Go download it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's free for fuck's sake. The demo's free, so
yeah,
who knows?
And you'll have fun even with just that.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's on Steam too, with the gold edition with everything included. It's pretty awesome.
No, exactly.
All right, so that's for Trials Frontier. No information on Trials. What is it? Fusion, I think it's coming to console.
Yeah, Fusion. Yeah, that's the console version.
I still laugh every time I go to Future Shop or Best Buy on their pre-order page. They still have Trials Fusion on there, listed at $60 for pre-order.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Seriously.
Clue. I mean, I could forgive that when the game was announced.
Right.
But we're months later now, and they still have that up on the page. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
All right, so another game that was announced by these guys is Rabbids Big Bang. It's kind of like Angry Birds Space, but with the Rabbids kind of wackiness incorporated. Right. I don't know. It could be cool. It's another iOS game, or I guess Android as well.
Yeah, well, I think the Angry Birds thing has kind of flown away.
Yeah.
Things go through phases. Like Angry Birds was a huge phase, and then fucking Draw Something was a huge phase, and
yeah, it's true.
Now it was Candy Crush was a huge phase, and that's starting to even fade away. Thank God.
There's a lot of that. iOS is just ripe for phases like that, right? It's just something you can pick up, you play it to death, and then it's over.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. The Rabbids are fun. I'm happy that there's a new game, just because that means there's going to be fun trailers to watch.
Right. Exactly. That's all it is. It's a fun trailer.
Pretty much. Yeah. All right. So moving on from that, another one that was announced or that was talked about is Child of Light, which was announced previously, but we got to see a trailer.
Right.
So, okay, I wrote about this. No, sorry, I'm actually just going to read this. This is a straight quote from Kotaku. Please go to Kotaku.com to find out more about this, because they're a great source. I don't want to rip off from them, but they said it really well. So it's a side-scrolling game which makes for an interesting mix because it's one part platforming and puzzle solving and one part turn-based combat, because it's kind of like an RPG at the same time, but side-scrolling. And they showed this part where she kind of gets into combat, and there's 3 positions in front of her that she's attacking, but it's still a side view. So there's minimal voice acting. All the dialogue is written in rhyming stanzas, which is pretty cool. And it'll be chunky for a downloadable game, 10 to 15 hours, and plenty of extras, in a new game plus mode and other challenges apparently. Now, if you look at the trailer for this, first of all, the art style is fantastic.
Yeah.
Second of all, the character is really cool. She's adorable, and she's kind of badass.
Yeah. Did
you see the trailer for this?
I did.
What did you think?
Yeah, no, same thing. I think it's just one of those games that I think could be fun. Kind of reminds me of some independent stuff like Bastion and other games. But, I think it could be fun. Fun game. It's just man, the people, what they do in independent studios is.
See, and that's the thing about indies is that, and I was just writing a comment to somebody else on Kotaku today and saying how, indie not so long ago, I would not have really thought of indie as something I care about very much. I'd say like before E3, I didn't even care that much. But
Really?
since E3, I've been hearing more and more about it, and I've been seeing games that are polished, that look cool, that have really good ideas, that are indie games. These are becoming a big deal.
Yeah, well, they've been a big deal a little while now, I would argue. I'd say the last 2 years they've really started to pick up. It's
To a nerd and to a hardcore gamer, perhaps. But I consider myself a hardcore gamer, and I didn't care about these until like I said, not even a couple months ago.
Really? But there's a game that made $33 million that's an indie game.
And I've never played it.
I'm sorry, not 33 million. 33 million copies sold.
Yeah, and I've never played it.
Well, actually, that's not true. You played at my house.
Briefly, we're gonna play it. Look, hold on, because you're missing the point here. What I'm saying is mainstream, because I'm like I guess I'm on the border when it comes to indie games.
Right.
I'm on the border between the hardcore that have discovered some of these awesome games and that I think the people that like these games right now or up until now have been people that like retro games that still play Mario platforming games.
Right.
Because a lot of the indie stuff had that feel to it. It was very retro, nothing really, a lot of it felt kind of older, not as many a lot of innovation, sorry, but not as much polish coming out of it.
Right. No, for sure.
And now you're seeing stuff like Galaxy that, for me, looks and feels like freaking Super Stardust, which is extremely polished and plays really fun. And all of a sudden, I'm thinking some of these indie games are going to be some of the first things that I play on my next generation console.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. And we'll come back to this in a little bit because this plugs into something else that we're going to talk about a little later.
Right. Okay.
Anyway, so Child of Light, like you said, kind of like Bastion in the sense that it's doing something it's got its own visual flair. It's really charming, and it looks like it's going to have a nice narrative. So anybody who's into this kind of indie game thing, and even if you're not, if you like fables and stuff like that, I think this is up your alley.
Right.
Another one that had a really nice 2D kind of style is Valiant Hearts. We've heard about this one before too. It's essentially a beautiful World War I 2D cartoon, old school style looking game. That's what I wrote.
That's fine. Beautiful and World War I usually don't go together.
No, you're right. But they managed to give it a really charming style.
Yeah.
And it goes well with the story of these 5 different characters that are coming together, and there's like a dog that's persistently there in each one of the stories, and it seems kind of cute and kind of heartwarming.
Right.
Throughout this World War I setting.
Yeah. No. I agree. It's again, they all have their own unique style. They all have it's interesting, because we see more innovation in indie games than we do on regular retail games. So
are these indie games, by the way?
I believe so.
Because they're from Ubisoft.
No, I think they're only published by Ubisoft though.
Oh, is that? Yeah, I think you might be right. Yeah, I know that some of these. I can't remember which one of these 2 games, but one of them there's somebody. I think it's Child of Light. There's a guy from the Far Cry 3 series that's like one of the prominent guys that's working on that game because he wanted to do something a bit more quirky, a bit more, toned down.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, so let's move on. Fuck it, let's just go on to what we really want to talk about from Ubisoft.
Right, exactly.
2 new Assassin's Creed games. Well, not new, but one of them being Assassin's Creed Liberation, which is the Vita game, the Vita exclusive that's now coming in HD, and this is going to be a proper HD port. They are reworking the shit out of it, which is really cool. Now, it's still going to have some of the telltale signs of a port, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Looking at the trailer, have you seen it?
I did. Oh yeah, I definitely saw the trailer.
Okay, I want to know how you feel about this.
Didn't I send it to you?
Huh?
Didn't I send it to you?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, you're right. You did. So I've played this game already, so I want to know what you think of this now.
Now, okay. Okay. There's 2 sides to this. One, I heard you talk about it so much that I was excited for it just when I saw the title.
Right. Sweet.
Now, if I were to just look at it, I would say, cool, another Assassin's Creed game. It's got a woman.
Yeah.
Nothing. It looks like kind of Assassin's Creed 3-ish, at least in the style. So I would have been cool, a new Assassin's Creed. But because of the way you talked about it, but which I feel they didn't convey very well how different it is from the other Assassin's Creeds.
Yeah.
I think the trailer could do a better job of really showing kind of its strong points and what makes it different than Assassin's Creeds. Still a really nice trailer. Honestly, if I didn't know, like if I was not a big hardcore gamer and I saw this trailer, I wouldn't know it was a port. I would think it's an actual new Assassin's Creed game coming out for 360 or PS3.
Some people might actually think that, yeah.
Yeah, but because I knew better, I knew it was a port. But honestly, I'm impressed the way it looks. I'm very excited to get it because this is something I kind of dismissed as I'll never play in my life.
Right.
As I don't have a Vita and I don't plan on getting one at least anytime soon.
Oh, at some point I would have lent you my Vita so that you could play.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. But you know what I mean. It's not something that was really on my radar.
Yeah.
And now it's full blown. Like I'm definitely getting this day one. So.
Awesome.
Two Assassin's. Did they release a date or approximate?
They said 2014. So I'm thinking like springish of 2014.
Yeah, that's right between having played Assassin's Creed 4 and getting excited for Assassin's Creed 5 or 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So.
So and from my perspective, so I've played all of the games as I previously mentioned, except for Revelations twice.
Right.
The reason for that just being that at some point I wanted to revisit the earlier games before playing Revelations, and then after Revelations I played Assassin's Creed 3, and I haven't gone back to Revelations yet because I love that game so much that I'm saving it.
Right.
But I did go back to Assassin's Creed 3 right away because, not right away, but I waited a few months and I played it again after they patched it, and it was less glitchy. And with the new kind of expectations that I had, I was able to thoroughly enjoy it the second time around.
Right.
Now, I almost continued playing Assassin's Creed Liberation a second time right after I beat it.
Right.
I wanted to play it again, but for some reason I kind of stopped. I was like, I guess I was getting burnt out on playing Assassin's Creed because I played like 3 games in a row type thing. And I'm glad I did because I get to play it again in HD, and how cool is that?
Right. Just a quick question: how long is it approximately?
It's like a full-fledged Assassin's Creed game. It's
really like a good 20 hours.
I want to say yes. I mean, I don't have the best memory for these kinds of things, but it's long enough to really feel like a real Assassin's Creed
game. Okay.
Huh?
Good. I can't wait. Like, I'm really excited for this. It's
Yeah, if you're an Assassin's Creed fan, you will not be disappointed by this game. It tries some new things. Some of them it does better than others. Luckily, some of the things it did really terribly were due to the Vita controls.
Right.
Like the worst thing in that game is that you would find like a map or something and you had to decipher it. And the way to do that was to put the camera of the Vita up to a light.
Oh, really?
Which never worked. Where's my Vita? Hold on a second.
Yeah.
You might have noticed that I'm wearing my shirt upside down. Don't ask. So you got the Vita, you're playing it. You're supposed to put this camera up to a light. By the way, I've got my extra stuff around it here to hold it like a controller, which works great, by the way. So you hold this up to a light, and it's supposed to eventually shine through the map and reveal something, right? Problem is, never fucking worked.
Yeah.
Maybe because I was playing at night, but then I
you know,
during the day. Go ahead.
I imagine myself like playing in bed. So does that mean you have to fucking get up, turn on the light, put the goddamn thing to the light, and then go back to bed?
Exactly. Every time I was playing this, I was fucking comfortably sitting in my couch, legs up, fucking blanket over me because it was middle of the winter, and I had to fucking get up and try to get this thing to work on a light, and then it didn't work. So I looked it up, and apparently there was a way to get around it. This is what you had to do instead of putting it up to the light, which again never fucking worked.
Right.
You just went like this until finally decided to just.
Really? Oh my god.
That's it. That's what you did.
That's annoying.
So that's out of the game now.
Yeah.
All that shit's out of the game. So you're left with only the good stuff.
Good.
So man, I can't wait to play this again, and I've played it already. So I can't imagine how exciting it must be to know that it's coming and that you actually can play it on a big screen TV and have it look good.
Right. No, it's definitely exciting. Now, I also wonder if, because it's coming out to 360 and PS3, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if, is it going to come on the One or PS4?
I have a feeling that it won't.
Right. They would announce it probably by this point.
I mean, if it is, then I would assume that so is Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah.
I don't see this coming to the PS4 and the Xbox One, and Assassin's Creed 3 not coming to that.
Well, Assassin's Creed 3 is already released though, so.
Well, same thing with this. I mean, it's
Well, not really, because they're kind of remaking it, right? So.
Yeah, well, they're porting it for the 360 and the PS3 to get a bigger audience, but with a game like this that came out at the same time as Assassin's Creed 3, what they want is to go get people who liked Assassin's Creed 3 to go buy this one and play it on their console, their current console.
Sure.
And there's so many people with that console.
I don't know what to say. Hey.
We're good. We're still live.
Yeah. It was you this time.
It was me, but luckily all it did was it booted me out and I could get right back in.
Yeah, I kept the audience entertained while he left.
All right, great. Look forward to seeing that later.
Yeah.
So what was I saying?
You're talking about the port.
Yeah, so many people have PS3s and 360s, and I would assume a lot of people that are getting the new console at launch are not getting rid of their old consoles because we don't have backwards compatibility now.
Right.
You know,
Right.
the only reason I got rid of my PS2, and I'm kicking myself for it now, is that my original PS3 had backwards compatibility. It
Right.
later died, and now I'm left with no solution for my PS2 games. But you know, so yeah, I think they're looking to have the biggest audience possible, and this game already went out on the Vita. It sold well on the Vita, so I see it selling extremely well on PS3 and 360. I don't see an incentive for them to put more time into it on the PS4 and Xbox One, unless I see them bring Assassin's Creed 3, and then I could see them doing this as well. But
Right.
I kind of doubt it.
And my other question would be, do you think this, because they're introducing this character to Microsoft, are they eventually going to release her missions for Assassin's Creed 4 on DLC?
Good question, and I think no.
You don't think it's a time exclusive?
No, look at all the other PS3 exclusive content. It's never made it to the Xbox.
For Assassin's Creed, you mean?
Yeah, for Assassin's Creed.
Because yeah, I saw some games do that. So.
Yeah, but like if you look at all the Assassin's Creed extra content for the PlayStation 3 console, none of that has ever made it. I think. Am I wrong? I don't know.
I don't know. Well, I don't know what the exclusive content on PS3 because I only had it on 360, right?
Yeah,
so.
I'm quite certain it's always stayed exclusive. I remember there was this. Huh?
Do you have an example? Just like.
Well, there was the Benedict Arnold or whatever it was pack for the PS3 for the Assassin's Creed 3. There was this I forget his name now, but there was an extra character in Revelations, or no, sorry, in the Rome one, Brotherhood.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that stuff stayed exclusive to PS3. That's my thought is it's going to stay exclusive. That's kind of a deal they have, and it's kind of like a shout out to the people who bought it on the Vita, right?
Right. No, for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I get the feeling that it's going to stay exclusive. What do you think? You think it might jump over?
No. Who knows? You know, I think you're right. I think it'll probably stay exclusive. But I wouldn't be shocked if they did bring her because they're introducing her to the audience.
Yeah.
Or bring something just to kind of help boost the.
But I have a feeling that whatever contract they've signed with Sony for these extra missions is one of those like actual exclusive, not timed exclusive.
Right.
Yeah. It would make sense, and there is a precedent. I mean, they didn't used to bring pre-order, like Best Buy or what am I trying to say here? Store exclusives, right? Retailer pre-order exclusives. They didn't used to bring that to DLC, but then with Assassin's Creed 3, which I got burned because I bought all those fucking things at extra cost. But they released it all. And so I'm expecting them to do that with Assassin's Creed 4, and it kind of sets a precedent to see other exclusives kind of jump ship in some way or form, maybe.
No, exactly. And I think as digital games are going to get more popular, they almost have to bring them because then why would people buy a digital game if they can, they want to buy it?
Exactly. So. If you're trying to get people to buy stuff digitally, then these retailer exclusives have to go the way of the dodo bird, right? It's got to die off. It's just
exactly. But at the same time, like someone explained to me, I actually talked to a developer at some party, and he said the reason they have those is because they give them money, which allows them to add things to the game, which they wouldn't have otherwise, right?
Of course, but
it's who knows what will happen,
I think I'd rather them maybe make a little bit more content that's for everyone than make a lot more content that's separated like this.
No, I agree.
They don't need to make all this extra content to get a little bit more money from retailers.
Right.
They can make a full game that doesn't have all these stupid little pre-order bonuses that come from left and right, and everybody will be happy. People won't be sad because there's not a mission that we didn't know was not going to exist because they have to cut it. You know?
Yeah. It doesn't bother me usually exclusives, except when I forget what game that really pissed me off. I think it was Battlefield Bad Company.
Okay.
I was really completionist back then, and I had all the guns except one because it was a GameStop exclusive.
Right.
For launch only, and it was impossible to get. And there it is, that fucking spot, just like Gray, and it pissed me off.
You couldn't get the achievement because of that?
No, you get the achievement, but when you look at all the guns, you're missing one, and it shows you the one you're missing, and it tells you the only way you can get it, and then it's like...
Assassin's Creed 3. Sorry, go ahead.
I even contacted EA to try to get one, and they're like, no, we're out. Like,
oh, fucking asshole.
Yeah,
no, I although I got almost everything with the Assassin's Creed 3, there was the one suit that I didn't have in my locker room there because it was like with a multiplayer pre-order bonus that I didn't care to spend an extra $60 on. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
And so obviously we're both excited for that one.
Yeah.
Have you seen the trailer for Assassin's Creed Pirates?
No.
Okay.
I didn't even know they had a trailer for Assassin's Creed Pirates yet.
There's a teaser trailer. There's not much shown except some very ordinary-looking iOS 3D graphics.
It's iOS only?
Yeah. Maybe to Android, I'm not sure. I know it's a mobile game.
Okay, yeah. See, I didn't like the Assassin's Creed on mobile. I played the last one on iOS, and it was just... I just can't do the controls. I just can't do it.
This one's different, though. It's not... I don't think you're an assassin running around. Like, I've seen those... I've tried one of those games, too, and it was crap, and I never finished it.
Yeah, it's impossible. Like, forget it.
No. But I think this is more along the lines of stuff like Project Legacy and other kind of side games that they're trying different mediums to deliver some other parts of the story or more lore to it.
Right.
That I'm all good with. Bring me more lore to the Assassin's Creed, mythos and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. Make it relatively fun and don't make me spend $20 on microtransactions on something that doesn't look all that great.
Right.
Then I'll be happy with it, But here's what it is essentially. They say you're neither assassin nor Templar, but you will cross paths with them. Players will also be able to recruit new members and explore a huge map featuring paradise islands, volcanic shores, mangroves, and many more gorgeous landscapes. And here's where I say, yeah, okay, except the graphics look like exceptionally low quality, and they're saying gorgeous landscapes. Who gives a shit if they're gorgeous if they don't look gorgeous?
Exactly.
Play it. So I'm very, very on the edge with this one. I don't know if I think it's going to be good or not. This is really one of those totally wait and see,
Yeah, no, for sure. That's iOS. I don't know. Like, it's the one market. I don't usually buy those types of games, so.
There are some really great games on iOS, but.
Oh, there are, for sure, but.
Yeah, oftentimes they're original games, or in the case of like Sonic, they're like the rebirth of a franchise where they actually.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, wait and see. I mean, really, if I get to learn more about the pirates in Assassin's Creed 4 game, then super cool. Just don't make it tedious or annoying or too ugly, please.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, so that pretty much concludes our Ubisoft coverage.
Yeah.
And we got one last going on for a while. We got 20 minutes left here because you want to watch Sons of Anarchy.
The premiere Sons of Anarchy. I'm super fucking excited. So. Yeah.
I'll be watching it soon as well. Okay, so 20 minutes. Let's wrap it up. Let's talk pre-TGS PlayStation.
Yeah.
Did you catch a lot of this?
Just in news form, not so much watching.
Yeah, me too, mostly. I saw some trailers and whatnot. So let me run it down here. So they announced essentially a lighter, thinner Vita and a Vita TV, which is more like an Apple TV than an actual TV.
Right.
So the new Vita has 1 GB of internal storage, has about an extra hour of battery life, and it actually looks pretty damn spiffy. Most people that I've watched or read about say that they really like the look. It looks neat. The buttons are a little different. Here, I got my Vita here. So, and I hope they make one of these for it because this just enhances the experience so much.
Right.
And one cool little thing is that the start and select button here, which are oval and
Right.
hard to press. It's not an issue, but the other one, the ones on the new one are round. They look a little easier to press and just nice little touch. Everything just looks kind of sleeker. So this is coming to Japan, and we don't know if or when it's coming to North America or Europe.
Mm.
My guess is that it will eventually make it here, that same model, except not the same colors. Those colors are definitely Japan-centric colors.
Yeah, they are.
You've got a baby blue, you've got a pink, you've got a yellow, which is kind of a popular color here nowadays, which is fine. But then you've got this like tan olive kind of color.
Right.
This is Japan stuff. This is for them.
Yeah.
You know, that's fine. I mean, we're getting the PS4 first. This is the first time ever that we're getting a PlayStation console before Japan is. So a lot of them are complaining about this over in
Like
Japan.
4 months.
Yeah, they're getting it in February.
Yeah.
And you know, please don't bitch about this. They've got a good reason to wait. They want to have localized Japanese games. They want to have more exciting Japanese games
Right.
for that market. And clearly, they want to have a lot of stock to do business and war, console war in North America and Europe, which is where they need to be fighting.
Right.
So it all makes sense, and let's be happy about that. Japan's getting these quirky products first, which is totally their market. Vita TV. So it's essentially like an Apple TV in the sense that you can stream stuff to it. So I don't think they've confirmed Netflix, but they have confirmed Hulu. They've confirmed other Japanese kind of streaming sites like this.
Yeah.
And you can play Vita games on it with a DualShock 3 controller. So you don't need to buy a Vita to play the Vita games.
Right.
Now you won't be able to play all of the Vita games because some of them that really necessitate touch controls you won't be able to play on here.
Sure.
But you know, there's quite a bit of Vita games, and here's where I'm going to bring back what I was talking about before, which was indie games.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of indie games have been announced for the PS4 simultaneously with the Vita, right? So now all of a sudden you have this $100 box that you can play with the DualShock 3, and that you can play all these exceptionally good quality indie games on. $100, that's your point of entry. That's pretty fucking amazing. And before I realized that, I was thinking, okay, this bit of a quirky thing, it's probably just a Japan-only thing, but now I'm seeing it really coming to the US, and I'm seeing this in the same vein as the Nintendo 2DS that has a different market. I mean, it still has me as a market, or you as a market, in the sense that you can put it on a different TV and you can stream your PS4 through it.
Right.
That's pretty cool, just there right away, right? Same thing with Vita, you can stream to your Vita, but this you can stream to another TV through the Vita TV.
Sure.
But now you can also just natively play all those indie titles that look really neat, straight up on TV with a $100 box. I see people buying it for that. This is like an Ouya killer.
Yeah, well, we didn't need
Ouya's
to.
going to die on its own anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, nobody's buying it anymore, and they don't have...
Taking wealth down, more like.
Yeah, exactly. Which, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, Ouya deserved it. I mean, this was a pipe dream. It got made because of Kickstarter, but it has no more money to keep innovating or to keep making the product better. Or
to market it. No one even knew it fucking came out.
Did you see that fucking vomit commercial that they made?
No.
For the love of Christ, this was the grossest fucking commercial I've seen in a long time. They're like, I can't remember how it goes, but it's like, oh, all these games, blah, 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 and the guy's like, oh, bruh.
Great.
And he's just vomiting chunks. It's not classy. It's gross. And
Right.
this shows you what kind of stuff's going on behind the scenes with Ouya. There's nothing there.
Right.
Like, this thing is going to die quick. So this is a good alternative. This is, PlayStation has been courting indies, and now all of a sudden you see a console that's coming out that's cheap, that's going to have a lot of really cool indie kind of games on it, and I really see the potential for this. I think it's going to be pretty big. So what's your take on this? I'm curious.
I'm not as confident as you are that it's going to take off that well. I don't know. Like, it really depends. I'd have to see more.
It's already actually in Japan. It's already sold out on Amazon Japan.
Really? But is it how many? It depends how much you have in stock, right? So
doesn't matter. Within a freaking day, not even.
Yeah. No, I know. It's that's Japan too. I mean.
Yeah. Well, they know what their target market is. That's definitely a product that's going to make a lot of sense to the Japanese market, I think. But if they bring it here and they market it right, which I think they very much can do, I mean, this is a competitor to the Apple TV even.
Sure. Right.
You get Netflix on there. You get all those other streaming content providers on there, and you got yourself something that does pretty much everything the Apple TV does. And on top of that, you can play your PS1 games, you can play your PSP games, and you can play some very good Vita games as well.
Right.
I see so much potential for this. Like, at first it didn't hit me because I was trying to grasp what it was. But you add in the indies. I mean, I want to play Super Stardust Delta on my TV now. That's a game I freaking love on the Vita, and it looks great on the screen, on the small screen, but now I want to play it on a bigger screen. And I know it's not going to look as good, but fuck it. It's going to be cool.
Right. So you can port your PS4 to your Vita. You can't port your Vita to the PS4?
You mean stream? So you
stream.
You cannot stream your Vita to the PS4. No.
Okay, that'd be nice.
The question, though, that people are asking, and that I'm wondering too, is will you be able to stream your PS Vita to the PS Vita TV?
Right.
That would be cool, and that would be cool for people like us who like to capture video, to do gameplay and stuff. Where again, we don't even know if the Vita will be able to be, if the PS Vita TV will be capturable because it's an HDMI port, right?
Right.
So if it's got protection like the PS3 does, then maybe that's out the window. But but even that, I mean, it'd be cool to be able to play even a game that has touchscreen controls. I'm thinking of Little Big Planet. Little Big Planet on the Vita. Let me play that on a big TV, but still have the touchscreen controls. Fuck yeah, that'll be one closer step to me wanting to spend an extra $100 that I don't have to spend because I have the PS4, I have the PS Vita. But if I can use that to stream to the TV what I'm seeing on my Vita and still use the touch controls,
is that not a Wii U?
What do you mean?
Well, you have your touch screen in your hand and you're watching on the TV?
Yeah, well, that's what second screen is. That's what the PS4 is with the. It's adding that functionality. The Wii U is dying because it's a one-trick pony.
Yeah. No, but it's also their game. They have a ton of problems. I mean.
Yeah, it's too many to list right now. We've gone through it before.
I'm talking technology-wise, not company.
What did you say?
Now, do you think that someone that has a PS4 and a Vita really wants to get this as well?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you've got a PS4, you've got
pretty much does it, right?
If you've got an extra TV in an extra room where you want to stream stuff to, then possibly. People at IGN, I've been watching them talking about it, and there's quite a bit of them that are excited for this because they have like 3 TVs in their house, and even though they have a Vita, they want this so that they can go into their bedroom and play the PlayStation 4 on their TV.
Right.
Because you can stream the PS4 to your Vita, but then you're playing it on a small screen. But with this, you can stream it to the Vita TV, and you're playing in a different room, but full resolution.
Right.
Pretty damn cool. Now, what everybody wants to know is how well will the streaming work?
Of course.
Everything points to it working really well. I mean, they've been pushing this. Like, a lot of people expected them to talk about it at first and then kind of just forget about it.
Right.
But keep talking about it, which suggests that it works very well.
Oh, for sure.
Yep. Yeah. So it's exciting stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing all this stuff. I get the feeling like I'm going to switch my my Vita for the new one at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's slim, it's sleek. People are saying that the LCD screen that's replacing the OLED might be a little bit more muted in terms of its color palette. Okay. I'm okay with that. I put my TV screen on more muted colors because I like more realistic kind of palette than super bright colors, right? Which is what the OLED does. So I'm cool with that. It's lighter. It'll be okay. This thing isn't super heavy, but it's kind of heavy.
Right.
And holding a handheld for long periods of time, the lighter it is, the better. We've seen it on the iPhone. It feels so much better with the iPhone 5. I've held other people's iPhone 5s. big deal, right? Same thing with the iPad Mini. It's lighter, it's more comfortable to hold for a long time.
That makes sense.
So I'll give you that, yeah. And last thing, they've got a 64 gigabyte card coming out. If only they would just make them cheaper. They already have, but not by enough. This is just stupid. But I'll have to buy one at some point because I think even just Killzone, you need like a 1.5 gig download. Not like the GTA 5
install.
No, this is a download.
Really? Oh my god.
So yeah.
Awesome.
All right, anything you wanted to add?
Nope.
All right, so I guess we'll wrap it up here.
Was that it for the Sony news? I thought there was more. I don't know.
Oh, I mean that's the big stuff, right? They had like I said, they had the Japanese launch date, which is in February. No. But this is, you got to remember, this is pre-TGS. This is not TGS.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I was not, and nobody was expecting this much news.
Right.
So it was like a big deal. It's like came out of friggin' nowhere. Maybe they did it because they wanted to get out before leaks did. I don't know.
Possible. Very possible. TGS is what, in 2 weeks?
2 weeks or 1 week. I think it might be. Hold on, I'll check right now.
This weekend coming, the weekend after, right?
It starts on the 19th, so
there you go.
It's in a week. Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get, and this is really the last big conference before the consoles are released. So.
And I know even Microsoft's going to have a big push over there. So.
Yeah, which I'm kind of surprised, but.
Yeah. Well, they want to compete there too, right?
They didn't even show up last year, if I remember correctly.
There kind of wasn't a point with the 360. That was they had a lot of good games at some point, like Tales of whatever. But
they tried at the beginning and then realized is just not.
There wasn't a market. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that'll do it for us. We are 10 minutes away from you getting to experience Sons of Anarchy.
Oh God, what a week! Breaking Bad, Dexter, and Sons of Anarchy in the same week.
I can't fucking take it. There's too many new shows coming out. I haven't even started watching Hell's on Wheels, and that's one of my favorite shows from last year. So just don't stop it because we love it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Just one thing I want to talk about quickly before we finish.
Yep.
If you're interested in meeting us in person, just shooting the shit, we're more than happy to talk to you. We're going to be at the Montreal Comic Con this Saturday, September 14th. Just send me an email on xp@nerdflip.com. Or send us a message on Twitter @flippingthenerd, and just tell us that you're going to be there. I mean, I'll even give you my cell phone number so you can text me. I really don't care.
You're inviting stalkerism, Steve.
I'm not afraid of stalkerism. Bring it on.
All right. I was going to say, if we don't tell them how to meet us, they can just go ahead and try to find a needle in a haystack at the Comic-Con.
Yeah, well, they know what we look like. I mean, they're watching a video, right? So.
Montreal Comic-Con, by the way. I don't know if you mentioned that.
Yeah, I did. Montreal Comic-Con, September 14th. And if you don't get the chance, because I know this is kind of short notice, I'm also going to be at Ottawa PopCon in December, which is December 12th. So I'll definitely mention it again. And hopefully by then we're going to have merchandise. So.
Yeah. And actually, if you want to narrow your search field, Steve will be in a line to get an autographed picture from somebody.
Yeah, all day. I have 6 autographs lined up. Actually, I had to make a last-minute change yesterday, which really sucked.
What's that?
I had it all planned. I had the 3 girls from Evil Dead, the villain from The Hills Have Eyes, and Merle and Andrea from The Walking Dead.
And what happened? What didn't work?
Merle backed out because he's filming Guardians of the Galaxy in the UK.
Shit.
Yeah. So, and I'm like, I don't want just Andrea's. Like,
Andrea's freaking awesome.
Looking and everything, but she's not exactly my favorite character on that show.
I liked Andrea. But,
yeah. I don't want her alone on my Walking Dead.
Well, if you get her first, then you don't have to worry about getting her later.
You know what though? The way I look at this is she's not doing much work, so she's going to do a lot of these Comic-Cons. Whereas the other 2 people I replaced them by are kind of old.
Right.
And this might be my last chance.
Right.
So I replaced them with George Takei and Christopher Lloyd.
All right, cool. Yeah, George Takei, definitely. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, he's not young, so I want to get it before.
Yeah.
No, he pops on.
Get him to say hello to you like he does on Family Guy. Hello.
Yeah. I know. I like the oh my. Oh my.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my.
I hope he writes that on my thing. I love when they write shit on my
That
autographs.
was great. But can't you ask them to?
Yeah. It depends. Some of them are better than others with that.
Cool.
Like, Sid Haig wrote out on mine, I shit the bed. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah. And if you want to find me, I will probably be comatose in front of a PS4 somewhere drooling.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, point is, you can come meet us. Just send us an email or a Twitter message, and I'll be more than happy to tell you where we can meet, and we can even go for a beer afterwards. We're very nice guys.
Yep. And our Twitter is at Flipping the Nerd.
That's right.
That'll be it for us.
Yep.
So it's been fun once again, and look forward to spieling on even more news next week.
Next week we're gonna be so high. It's gonna 2 days away from GTA. It's gonna be like, oh my god.
Oh my god, should we even do it? I mean, what are we even going to be talking about? We're just going to be like this, with like a GTA logo tattooed on our forehead or something.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm super excited. Okay.
We'll find something to talk about. All right.
With the amount of news that comes out these days, I'm sure there's something that's gonna come out in like 4 hours, and it's gonna be like, come on. Anyway, I gotta go. Sons of Anarchy in like 5 minutes.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Okay.
See you guys.
Later.